round number one. And
Hit
it was
him with
that
that,
left.
yes, that overhand. So he's a southpaw, so his power hand is his left hand. He connected with that overhand left, and then he reconnected again with that overhand left, but on the other side of the cage. He was still out.
And an impressive backflip to finish
Yeah,
things off.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here joined today by a man that has now moved to 2-0 after his pretty short performance there last weekend at Front Street Fights 22. I'm joined by, of course, Team Quest's very own Chase Peel. Chase, how are we doing today? And how are we feeling about a week removed from, I mean, you're pretty clean scrap. Your face still looks great, and it looked great that night as well.
Yeah, I feel great, man. We went in, we got that good TKO victory, and I've been enjoying my week of hanging out with my family and eating some good food. So training a little here and there, but just making sure I enjoy life at least for a week before I get back to it, get ready for another one.
Absolutely. I think a week is well deserved after a performance like that. But of course, like I said, Chase Peel 2-0 in 2 KOs on the record here. I mean, assuming so. Your Tapology page a little outdated, but it's okay. He was able to go through and make research here. Maybe I should have checked ShareDog.
Right.
Man.
Hopefully they update too. They're a little slow sometimes as well, but hopefully soon.
Come on, they need to watch out for you. Almost kind of more original guys. You can't just be all UFC updating that quick. But of course, most recently, I mean, the first card back in Boise, Idaho, in over a year, about over a year removed from First Street Fights 21. And so, I mean, at least the crowd there, we all saw that giant grin on your face, you know, walking out of the tunnel there. Might help that you have the man known for smiling in your corner, Sam Alvey. But what was that feeling like?
Sure.
What was it like being back there? Because we had a pretty good crowd. I'm super happy with that, and I'm sure it must have felt that same way for you.
Oh man, it was you can't describe that feeling. It's definitely the biggest crowd I fought in front of. But it's like, one, it's my hometown, and there had to have been 3,500, 4,000 people there, and it was just like when I was standing in that back room getting ready to walk out, man, because the last time I had fought was Front Street Fights 21. So I'm almost 2 years removed from my last fight, so I was just so happy to get back out there. Like, I generally walk out with this stern look on my face, like I'm ready to go fight, like I gotta be hardcore and tough, right? This time it was completely different, man. It was just such a good camp, and like the way everything came together, and wading into fight week, I walked to that cage, and I was the happiest I've been in so long. And it's like, that's what that big grin was, man. I couldn't help it. So it was awesome. It's the best feeling ever, man, being able to do that one thing that you practice so hard and so long for. And it's the one thing I love most, man. So it's pure happiness walking out there, dude. Pure happiness.
Absolutely. I mean, you're back home, so I mean, what else can you expect from that? And you think, would you safe to say that Boise, and it was CenturyLink, now it's Idaho Central Arena. They changed that.
Idaho Central, yeah.
So guessing that's your favorite place to fight?
Right now it is. It's that crowd's fun, man. Like Boise, you can tell they were pumped. They finally got a big event coming. Everyone showed up, and they showed up in force. And man, they were having a blast out there, which makes it a lot more fun for us fighters, win or lose, man, because like we get to go out there and put it all on the line for them. So it's like ultimately we're entertainers. That's what it is. So when we get to do exactly that, and you hear that crowd roar up, man, it's a blast.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in a pretty good spot. To be fair, the prelims or the amateur card got the crowd going, especially with that last woman's fight. Then you get to kick off the main card properly there. I mean, 4-4-second knockout. Walk us through that fight. Were you really expecting something like that? What were you preparing for? And were you even able to implement the game plan there in that little bit of time? Take us through.
So, when I first got this matchup against Cameron, I knew he was going to be a good grappler. As far as I know, he's a brown belt, and you could tell just by looking at the dude's ears, he was a wrestler. He obviously put plenty of time in on the mat, so I really expected a lot of it to go to the ground. I didn't really get to see too much of a stand-up, But as we were going through and formulating our game plan, it was going to be about keeping it where my strengths are, which I'm a kickboxer. I grew up doing karate and all that stuff, so I really love kicking. We're going to try and keep it there, and we're going to be ready to go down if it needed to go down. I mean, I'm surrounded by killer wrestlers, man. I mean, Dan Henderson's gym, he's an Olympian, so he attracts nothing but amazing wrestlers, which is why I went there in the first place, to really hammer that part of my game in. So we were confident if it went to the ground. When we were out there, my coach, Joe Daddy Stevenson, he was right in the corner, and he said, first thing I want you to do is,
Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Yeah, a legend,
Yep.
man. He's and the type of knowledge that guy has given me over the past couple of years that I've trained under him is absolutely amazing. I can't thank that guy enough for everything he's done for me in my game. But when we went out there, first thing he said, he's like, hey, pay attention. In this guy's previous fights, he was heavy and flat-footed. So he wanted me to take that center and immediately start pushing forward. That way I could dictate the pace and put the fight where I wanted it. It just so happened I caught him with that left a little quicker than I thought I would have, because I saw him plot off to what would initially be an orthodox lead, which I'm sure is what he's used to. And me being a southpaw, he circled into that power, and that's when I was able to throw that tight overhand and catch him. And I just don't think he was able to recover from that. So once I hit that, I tried just to stay on him without exerting too much energy. We hit the ground. I couldn't finish him right there. He ended up standing back up, and we separated, and I went back to making sure I was moving forward again and cutting off that corner and making sure I can land that left hand. But that's what they told me to do, and I did it, and it worked out incredibly well, a lot quicker than I had planned. Like I said, I was ready for a full fight, but it's great, man. Like it's the exact kind of victory you want going in there. Like, you spend all this time training, get the KO in 44 seconds, then you can get right back to training and start honing those skills again, man. So
exactly. I mean, got there with very little damage, and I think one of the best parts about being MMA fighters, it's not like you guys get paid by the hour. So go in there, handle business, and get to go for the night.
Yep, exactly, man. That's what we did. We got in there and handled business. So
absolutely. And so is it safe to say that this is your best performance, or did you feel like your last fight might have been a little better? How would you compare the two?
This is definitely my best performance. It's the best I've ever felt, even in the back room before heading out to the fight. Like I said, I was just super happy. I felt great absolutely everywhere, man. Like I said, I could have fought anywhere that fight went. Like, I was ready, 100% ready. I felt like there was no holes in my game. I had no chinks in the armor. I was ready to fight where it went. The last fight, I remember he surprised me because he was a really good boxer, but I was also a lot more stationary. I wasn't moving and grooving off those corners. I wasn't as light-footed as I usually am. Because I love movement. I love being on my toes. I love hitting those corners, being behind the guy. That way he's having to turn to meet me, and that's when I can throw my strikes. I didn't do it that last time, and then I had I don't know if you could tell in the video, but I got a nice crooked nose now because of it. That guy busted me up pretty good. But that fight, I learned a lot from it. I needed that fight. Yeah, you can see it. But he busted me open good, man. I remember when I took the dude down, and we were in that little grappling exchange, and it was like we were really slippery, and it was all because of the blood. And then I had that moment in the fight where I was thinking, I was like, this isn't his blood. Like, this is my own blood making me slippery. Like, it's screwing me over. But no, that fight, I learned a lot from him, man. Steve Severn was a tough guy. He definitely made me better with that fight. I ended up finding one of his holes where I was able to catch him with an elbow, and I could tell it hurt him really bad. And then I was able to finish it right then and there. But this one, I definitely made it a point that I was the aggressor. I was the one moving forward. I was the one that was making sure I stayed light-footed. And if the takedown was going to happen, I was going to be the one that initiated it and put it there. And it didn't go as long for me to figure out where I am at. Like I was kind of hoping. But it worked out perfectly, man. Like, I owe it all to the training and my boxing coach, Gustavo. Like I said, I got Joe Daddy Stevenson and Smiling Sam, who's freaking one of the hardest hitters I've ever sparred with, dude. Those guys have made me so much better in so many facets. Not to mention all the countless guys I have in the gym that are just pushing every single day. There's some killers there, man. Definitely some people you got to keep an eye out for.
Well, I'm sure it helps when you're lightweight sparring with the light heavyweight. A little bit of a difference there, right? So, of course, later on that evening, the lightweight strap for Front Street Fights was online, and now the new champion, Nathan Stolen, reigns supreme over that division. And so, take us through your plans for the future, your plans for your future fights, and do you have your eyes on Stolen and that belt?
So I when I talked to the matchmaker after the fight, he even said he hated it. He was like, it's time for a big step up in competition, huh? And I was like, yeah, definitely. And the thing is, my pro career is young, but I'm not new to the martial arts life. I've done it since I was a little kid, grew up in it. My dad still owns a school in the valley there, has for over 2 decades. But it was getting to fight and have that kind of performance on the same night that they had the title fight for my division. And Nathan's a tough dude, man. Like, and he's got a pretty storied record there. Like, I think if I remember right, don't quote me on this, I think he might be 9-5 now. Here I am 2-0. So it's like people might look at that and be like, oh, you don't have the right to call him out, but I would take that fight, man. I would love to try and keep that belt in the hometown. You know what I mean? Keep it with our Boise people. I watched that fight a couple times, and him and Daryl had a scrap, man. Daryl's one of my homies. He's a good dude. I love that guy, man.
That was a tough fight.
Yeah, and he got caught with that up kick early, and you could tell it just changed it for him, man, because he was looking great up until that point. But if the promotion it would let it happen, I 100% would come for that title, and I would fight him. I'd fight Stolen, because if I did well in that fight, it's just more to put me on the map, man. Like I said, I know I got a young career. It's only 2-0 right now, but I could be nice and ready. The training only gets harder, and if that's what they want to throw at me, I'll definitely take it. I want that title, man. I want it.
Perfect. I mean, that's exactly what you want to hear, and it's stuff like that where it can get you keep a belt from an original scene like this is what helps propel you to maybe the bigger markets there. I'm sure. I mean, every pro fighter has dreams, Bellator 1, UFC, and so you think that would be the next step that would be best to take to propel you into a bigger promotion like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially FSF. They put on killer fights, man. They've had some really tough guys in there. They've got some guys in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they I think winning that title, especially against an opponent of that caliber, it'll just really propel me forward, man. I feel like with that, I'd be able to make a bid to go after like a contender series fight, get into LFA, get into these bigger stepping stone companies, man, that can really like propel me forward. Because my ultimate goal, my goal is to be one of the best, man. I want to be one of the best in the world, and I want to fight the best, and obviously the place to do that is the UFC. So it's like I'm gonna keep training as hard as I possibly can to realize that goal, and I can't slow down. Now that I've got the momentum, I can't slow down, man. I think that title fight would definitely be something to put me on the map for that.
Absolutely. And one of the last things I want to talk about from your fight at Front Street Fights 22 was actually from your post-fight interview. You had a special message there at the end of adoption instead of buying animals. Is that something you're passionate about? That's something you'd like to go into a little bit more? I thought it was amazing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's I'm extremely passionate about it. So a couple years ago, my family and I, when I initially moved here, my family that I live with my brother and my sister-in-law, and my nieces. They had adopted a dog from this rescue from one of the local pet stores, right? Well, since then we've kind of fallen in with them. We started volunteering, and actually most of our animals are from that rescue. But you just see the kind of things that these dogs go through, man, and like even these cats and like all these other animals, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that people could do these things, these horrid things to these animals. And you see what they go through. And then when you actually take these, because we do foster a lot, so we always have foster animals in and out of our house, and you see the kind of appreciation when they come in. They're super shy and scared at first, but these dogs have like such a specific way of showing their gratitude to you, and it's special, man. It really is special. So I always try and encourage people. It's like if you have local rescues around you and you're looking at getting animals, look at them first, because these animals need it, and they're the most loving animals you'll ever have. I've got a little dog that I adopted from him, and man, that freaking, I would kill for that dog. That is the best dog on the planet. I love her to death. Like, it's crazy the things that these people do to these animals, but they need good families. They need good families and good homes. And ever since we've been working with the rescue, man, it's become a huge passion of mine. So I always say, adopt, don't shop. Just, it's important. It's important to me. And I feel like if people went in and really got to know these rescues and these animals, they would feel the same.
And what rescue is this, sir? Let's shout them out. They deserve it.
Southern Star Animal Rescue. They are actually one of my sponsors as well. They're ran by some amazing people. If you're in the Southern California area, specifically the Temecula, Menifee, Marietta area, right off of Hahn Road in Menifee, there's a PetSmart there that they set up every Sunday. So Southern Star Animal Rescue. Please, if you're listening to this, look them up. And if you're in the area, we'd love to have you come in and take a look at some dogs if you're interested.
Huge shout out to them, because I mean, at least personally, all the dogs I've had were growing up. They've all been the street dogs or the shelter dogs. I know we've had one dog that my mom bought because she really wanted a certain one, but it was from at least a good breeder, not because I'm sure some of those breeds can be real bad as well. But I love shelter animals. They're always the most loving and caring, and there's nothing like them. And so that's always fantastic. And please, if you're looking for that, I mean, go with them, because especially with down there in Southern California, the best spot there. I'm 100% sure about that. But that's some great stuff. I love fighters with a cause like that. There's always some really great stuff, and it's definitely just another motivation, I'm sure, of something to fight for as well.
Oh, definitely, man. It's like, that's a message I'll always push. It's like, if there's one thing I always have at the forefront of it, it's that, man. It's definitely, it's near and dear to me. That's really, as I'm getting attacked by a fly here. Sorry, I keep like batting on my face and whatnot.
It's all good. I've been attacked by one. And it feels awful when you're trying to record something and there's just a fly coming at you. So where the chopsticks at? I mean, you said you said karate, right?
Yep.
Yeah, where's the karate kid? Yeah, you gonna catch it?
Right, exactly. I was gonna say, maybe I'm not so good at that yet, man. Maybe I gotta practice right now.
Maybe no more karate, just stick with the kickboxing, I guess.
Now's the time.
And then one of the things, right. One of the things we love to do with everyone we have on here, especially the MMA guys, is that we have what's called fighter favorites. So 5 categories of stuff. So first thing, just to kind of list out what comes to the top of your head there. Sir, one of the first things that we have here is, and I'm sure it's near and dear to you, especially after a fight, no more weight cut, you finally get to relax a little bit. So your favorite food?
Pizza, 100%.
That's always a popular one here, but so that one's all the time. We gotta get specifics. What kind of toppings are we talking about? What kind of pizza?
Let's see. What did I get? I like pesto pizzas. Pesto with artichoke. That's like a big thing for me, man. Like, I love them. You throw some sausage on it, I'm solid. That's all I need.
You got a favorite pizza spot down there?
Down here, I've been to, there's a place called My Buddies, and it is absolutely amazing. It's this little hole in the wall pizza shop, and it is the best place ever, man. Matter of fact, I haven't been yet. I need to go this week.
Hey, time for a sponsorship. Shout out to My Buddies. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Feeling the fighters here. Next one is favorite music.
Favorite music? I grew up listening to a lot of punk rock and metal. I don't know if you guys noticed it at the fights, but I walked out to A Day to Remember, and that is my all-time favorite band.
I think you had the best walkout music. And I got to be honest, the fighters on that card all had, I didn't hear one bad walkout song. You guys all had great taste.
It's great. I mean, especially that I was gonna say, like, honestly, every song I heard I liked. It was meant to be, man. It was a good card for a reason.
Right. It was almost all rock. I know the one I didn't hear was another friend of the show, Raymond Lawley. He walked out to some country and a little bit of change of pace, but I love the punk. The punk rock is a really great way to get ready to go punch them in the face.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it just gets you going, man. It gets you ready. It's fun. It's just fun music.
That's good stuff. And maybe when you're not training here, what's your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby? Well, my brother and I, over the past couple of years, have recently gotten very into mini bikes. Because we have these big foothills out here, and so we've been we threw a bunch of we threw torque converters on our bikes, like all new belts, like basically upgraded these little engines, dude. So we're cruising up these hills like super fast. That's definitely something I'm super into now. That's thanks to my sister-in-law's family. They brought them all over one vacation they came in. And then ever since, that's just what we're super into, man.
Oh, that's right.
That and VR. I just got a VR headset, and I think that's something I could definitely get into. It's a lot of fun.
I heard the boxing game is actually really good for cardio and training. Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it yet. I was looking at it, and I was like, this actually might look like really good, because you have to like slip and use your timing and everything. I was like, it's crazy where they've gotten with it, man.
Right, that stuff is sick. I need to give me one of those headsets. I mean, I'm sure that'd be tons of fun there. And maybe besides MMA, favorite sport, whether you play or you watch.
I don't really watch many sports, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, I watch a lot of MMA and boxing. I don't know much about it, but I do really like watching hockey. I think it's the most fun to watch. You get into the specifics of it, I wouldn't be able to tell you a thing, but I do love watching it.
Hey, hockey's cool. It's some people going real fast and people real hard.
Exactly.
Also, there's fighting in hockey too, so it's perfect for a guy like you.
Right. Maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
It's the best stuff. And maybe a guy that you look up to, or you try to mark your career after, or a guy that you just find really entertaining, you always have to watch. Your favorite MMA fighter.
So my favorite MMA fighter always since I first came into the sport was Vitor Belfort, man. Especially when he would kind of had that good upcoming, and that dude's been through a lot too. Like with his sister getting kidnapped and all that stuff. And just seeing the guy go through the things he went through and still doing the thing, like accomplishing the goals and things he did. And he was just a straight monster, man. Like, talk about someone who was putting guys down for a long time. Like, but him and other one I really liked is Wonder Boy, obviously.
Yeah.
He's a karate guy, dude, and he's just a good dude, and I love his style, that bouncy movement style with those quick kicks right up the center, man. Like, it's one of my favorite styles, and yeah, so I'd say if I have to pick two, those are the guys.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not too many karate practitioners, at least at the bigger stages as well. So I feel like you guys really got to stick together when you find some other karate. Yeah,
exactly. We have to. It's like, I think there was only one karate champion, and I think it was Bobby Knuckles, dude. Like, I think he was it.
Right, I mean, there's all these
Whitaker,
wrestlers, all these.
The only karate champion. Everyone else is all wrestlers.
Right, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, a little bit of kickboxing thrown in. I need to see another karate champion. I mean, who knows? I think we might just be looking at one right here.
That's the goal, man. I'm shooting for the top. I'm coming.
Yeah, if Wonder Boy can't do it, I mean, we got Chase Peel, so it's going to be all good. Yes, sir.
Right. Next time I gotta set it up to where I can actually throw a lot more karate kicks, because I'm good at them, but I just haven't had to use them yet.
I mean, or maybe we just need to get you a fight with a little bit more than 44 seconds. Is that the thing, though? Do we just have to start off with the front kick then to start the fight, so you actually have time to get your moves in?
Might have to. Maybe that'll be on the docket next time.
Is there such thing as a flying front kick? Do you think we could invent that?
I can make it happen. I did acrobatics as a kid. I could probably figure something out. It's like, and if it makes another 44-second fight, then I feel like that's a straight highlight right there. That will put me on the map.
Right? I don't think anyone's seen that before. I mean, you pull a little Showtime pass action. You could do a front kick off the cage. Maybe I'm just trying to throw some cool karate stuff in
Yeah,
there.
right.
Right. But
right, it'd be like a different variation of the Showtime kick.
Yeah. Hey, if you could get anything close to that, I think you have a highlight on your own. You're going to go viral for that. So it's an easy way to make the UFC sign you, right?
Right.
I know Dana likes
yeah,
being
exactly.
In the news,
It's
right?
like, you gotta be flashy. They want the cool knockouts, right?
Man, that's what you
Yeah,
can provide
exactly.
right here. So it's good stuff. And so of course, thank you so much for coming on here, Chase. This is plenty of great stuff here. Fantastic fight. Now still undefeated, and a possible title shot coming up next. And so obviously I can't wait, because I'm sure you're going to be at the next Front Street fights if you can. And I'm sure that's just going to be another loaded card. The crowd there is great, and it's always, the reception for the hometown guys, especially like you, was nothing but fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to the next one of those. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the cage in your next fight.
I appreciate that, man. It's looking pretty likely that I'll be back there soon. So we'll be ready to go, and I'll put on another fireworks show for you guys. I'm really excited. Boise's the best, man. I love that crowd so much. I love the people there. It's good people. It's great people.
It really is. But ladies and gentlemen, Chase Peel, everyone. I'll have all the stuff linked to his Instagram, so make sure to go find that. Go check all that stuff out, and also adopt, not shop. I think that's the biggest takeaway here. And maybe, who knows? Maybe we need to get you enough followers and enough of that paycheck. So maybe eventually when you're retired, you could straighten out that nose. I'm not sure if you want to, though. It's a good battle scar, I know. Unless you want to end up like Ben Roethlisberger.
I haven't had breathing issues yet, so
I think it's fine, right?
Yeah, right.
Unless if you start smashing you up there, you're
so
good.
far it's okay.
Then we'll just.
I gotta fight a good. I gotta fight a good left-hander so he knocks it straight. So
right, I think that's what Justin Gaethje wanted with like Tony Ferguson or something like that. So, hey, whatever works, so whatever saves money out of the surgery cost. So it's all good. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go check out Chase Peel. You won't want to miss his next fight here.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on, my friend.